Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Joy Show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. Today's show, this show airs each weekday morning, hella early. Every show, each weekday morning, hella early. It's Friday. It's the last show of the week. Oh, last morning show of the week. Man, I can't believe it's already Friday. I'm a little excited that it's Friday. I'm in LA and it's been cold in LA, but it's not going to be cold today nor this weekend. So I'm pretty hyped about that. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, we air each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then at 4:45 p.m. at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook's Facebook Live at 4:45 p.m. That's twice a day, 4:45 a.m., 4:45 p.m. Therefore, the name of the show, 4:45 Productive Through Joy Show. Today, guys, we're talking about oneness. At times in the Black community, we call it everything is everything. There's a song by Lauryn Hill which made that a part of the popular discourse. I heard she just sold 10 million copies of that Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album, which that song was one of the biggest hits of that album. So people know that phrase in popular culture. It's rooted in the African tradition that all things are related, but we'll get into that in a second. So what was I saying? I'm happy. It's not going to be cold today. Thanks for being here. You can go to productivethroughjoy.com. We are remaking our website, which is taking forever. But you can also simply go to you can go to michaeldatcher.com to get many of the basic elements of what we do and just holler and we'll holler back. All right, so thanks for being here. Let me say a few words about myself. For those of you who are new, this is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, author of the Pulitzer Prize nominated Animating Black and Brown Liberation, a Theory of American Literatures. I'm the board president of a great nonprofit here in LA. We have a board meeting coming up, which I need to alert board members of this month. My mind's working overtime right now, things you have to do early in the morning. A great nonprofit here in LA's Crenshaw District. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English Lit is from the University of California at Riverside. So, guys, I'm an expert at being productive. I don't say that to brag or boast. I say it because people are oftentimes surprised to hear this level of productivity. I'm talking fast today. From someone given my crazy background, I am the product of a young girl who was assaulted at age 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to an extraordinary single divorcee, yet at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD, yet as Cool Moby famously said, how you like me now? And if I can be this productive and be so through joy, I know many people can in their own way, in their own lane. So thanks for joining me on this journey. So today, guys, we're talking, if you like the show, please subscribe. And also hit that like button. Bam. Smash it. So let's talk. So we're talking, guys, today about the concept of oneness. And point one is that, listen, it takes some work to see and to know that oneness exists, meaning oneness between all people, all things, because we live in such an extraordinarily divided world, which is already the case. You know, a former president in America here, Mr. Trump, brought much of that racism and crazy division to the fore by being just so, as they say in the community, wrong and strong about it. He encouraged people to be open about their racism, about their division and their hatred. So now that it's always been here, of course, but he helped people to kind of embrace their racism and white supremacy and to kind of just say it aloud, even black people, because you can be non-black and still embrace white supremacy. I know people like that, who are close to me, which is really heartbreaking, trust me. But that's the power of those white supremacist ideas, because all around you, the ideal of whiteness seems to be dominant, correct, more valuable. So it's not surprising that even black people can be white supremacists, which is sick and disturbing, but which is why it's important to have this type of show today about oneness. So that's point one. You want to be able to, even though it's difficult to see oneness, do some work to see and know oneness. So what does that mean? So how does that look? So practically, point two is I find that, it takes reading. I'm a scholar, so reading is fun for me, literally fun, but not just in terms of books, but in terms of seeking knowledge in various ways, talking to experts, being around people who are unlike yourself, which is a good habit to get into, it's really being committed to it, seeking knowledge. Some people, as a professor, I'm around students all the time. So in the modern educational industrial complex, students, and it's not totally their fault, but they aren't always interested in seeking knowledge of themselves. The ancient Africans who call themselves folks from Kemet, the land of the blacks, would say, have a saying, have a philosophy, which is know thyself. Although the Greeks are at times attributed with that, which is crazy. They call it the Delphic. They call it the Delphic or some made up craziness. That's an ancient African idea. Anyway, so know thyself is the foundation principle of the Egyptian belief system of knowledge in God, and because they believe that God is everywhere, including yourself, including inside yourself. So a person's journey has to include seeking the God inside yourself, or knowing thyself. And that's where the tradition of where the Gnostic tradition comes from, which is the same tradition that Jesus is actually a part of, if you're a Christian person. So, but if you do your due diligence and you seek that knowledge, you'll know that. So that's point two. You want to seek knowledge because it can really help. I can tell you, and I am telling you, but that's because I want you to do further work and look into it, because and there are many, many, many books that you can read, and they call them tractates, so small writings individual writings that have been gathered into books that you can read about this knowledge. And once you have it for yourself, as a sidebar, the part of the tragedy of the last 4 years with Mr. Trump is that he led an attack on facts. It's really disturbing because he led an attack on verifiable facts. What they began calling it alternative facts, which is a way of saying lying. So now people can say anything. On the right, we see much of that. Just even when the evidence is before their eyes, they will say, "No, the sky is not blue. No, it's not blue. That was not an insurrection, or that was Mr. Trump is not a liar." I mean, it's a problem. But that's not today's topic. Today's topic is oneness. But I wanted to bring that up because we see the impact of not having oneness. We see the impact of people sowing division. We see the impact of alternative facts when there's no one agreement to like 1 and 1 is 2 of discernible, verifiable fact. That's a major problem because you can't have society that way. That's actually operating. So that's what we're having today's show. If we can get back on board with a little thing called the fact, or as we say, the truth about the fact, we can help society. That's a practical way that you can do something to make society better. Be in the battle for verifiable fact. For science, for example, these cats have attacked science when it hasn't met their agenda. It's really very disturbing. Science is real. Let me just say, if you are a Trump supporter or whatever you call yourself, and because Mr. Trump said science is not real, science is liberal or something crazy like that, science is real, math is real, I mean, my God. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that right now. We're talking about, that's the whole point, oneness, because now more than ever we need oneness, which goes into point 3. So practically, how does that look in your everyday life? So as I said I mentioned to a small degree a second ago, one great thing to do is to be around people who are unlike yourself. You don't have to be friends with them or agree with them, but it's good to kind of hear their perspective from them, and engage them in conversation, and not necessarily to try to convince them to change, because many of these people, as we now know, because of post-insurrection, post people getting killed, they're still holding the same line. So, certain people are not going to change because they're in a cult. I don't want to get to that though. So the goal of being with them is not to try to convert them or change them or have them believe in science. Even saying that sounds weird. I don't believe in science. But the ideal is to learn and understand, that they're in a cult, and understand that there are people out there who believe those types of things. And then what are the implications for us? What that does practically is that it gives you a sense of empathy, and not like weird, like I can't think of a better word right now, but I'll just say it gives you a chance to be empathetic and to realize that there's a reason why people don't believe in science, you know? So I'm kind of just going all off today. I'm sorry, but it's Friday. I'm happy it's Friday, you know? But ultimately, when we can pursue and live a life of oneness, all of us we benefit. All right, so thanks for being here. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, I went all off today. We'll see you at 4:45 p.m. today. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces, I'm out.